guys, this is Ella, and you're watching Easy Life with Ella. There's only one thing I want to talk about in this video is about how you define yourself. You choose to identify as a passionate person or is a K person. There's two types of people in the world, and as I have mentioned before, you can choose to identify as a passionate person. What I'm going to do with my life, or uh, what will I get after I done this, I done that, or just I'll do it later. I'll leave it tomorrow, and it's okay. So yeah, there's two types. I wonder if you guys or which type of person watch this video. Man 80 sentenced to life after murdering his lover and her son more than 45 years ago. Okay, so William McDowell, 80, was sentenced to life in prison with a recommendation that he serve a minimum of 30 years for killing Rennie and Andrew McGrath in November 1976. He killed the mother and son Ella Levi near Damagary on the A9, about 12 miles south of Inverness. This despite a huge police investigation after the disappearance and further investigation in 1986, 2004, and 2018. The double disappearance was one of the longest unsolved murder cases in Scottish criminal history. Officers are now urging McDowell to disclose what he did with Mrs. McRae and her son so they can be provided with the dignity they deserve. McDowell, who was married while having a relationship with Miss McRae, who was separate from her husband, had been trying to keep their 4-year affair secret. Alex Percy Casey said during the trial that McDowell was the only man with a motive for killing the pair. As his concern grew, that news of his affair would be revealed and what that would mean for his finances and lifestyle. Life for Bill McDowell would change dramatically if it all came out in the open. He would lose his job, his family, and his home. McDowell, who was brought into court each day in a wheelchair by his wife Rosemary, claimed that the murders were committed by Miss McRae, estranged husband Gordon McRae, and others unknown. Miss McRae's sister said after the conviction, almost 46 years on, the pain of losing Rennie and Andrew is in such a cruel and brutal fashion never faced. Today there is finally justice for them. It's a day we fear would never come. They were both so precious to us, and a day never passes without them both in our thoughts. Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov at the Kremlin in February, she wore a fox for a hat that again was compared to that worn by Thatcher on a Russia trip in 1987. During the Conservative leadership contest, Truss wore an outfit strikingly similar to one Thatcher had worn for an election broadcast in 1979, a black blazer and a white shirt with a bow tie at the front. For Truss critics, the similarities to Thatcher's are the best premature and worst ludicrous. I don't think there is anything in it. They're completely different people. Truss supporter Andrea Andino, 55, insisted outside the venue where Truss was announced the new leader of the Conservative Party on Monday. Andino wore a t-shirt in Liz We Trust. She's different. I don't think she will follow Thatcher in any way, she added. Timothy Kirkhope, a Conservative member of the upper chamber of the British Parliament, also dismissed the comparison, but for different reasons. I regard any comparison between Truss and Thatcher as derisory, he said in an email. I worked as a government whip under Margaret Thatcher. She was a colossus in politics. There is absolutely no way that Truss could ever get anywhere near the achievements of Thatcher, he said. Truss herself complained to BBC Radio 4 in July that women tend to get compared to Thatcher whether they resemble her or not. I'm on my own person, she said. James Cleverly, who served as education minister under Boris Johnson, echoes these sentiments. She's a woman in politics, though comparisons are inevitable, and he said she is Liz Truss, she's her own person. To those of us who have studied Thatcher, she's hardly in the same league, at least on current form, said Professor Tim Bell, an expert on British politics and the Conservative Party at Queen Mary University of London. While Thatcher was regarded then and now was a conviction politician who embodied her beliefs, Truss had been accused of being a political chameleon, flip-flopping on major policies and criticized for lacking hard and fast principles. She was an activist for the centrist Liberal Democrat Party as a college student. We do not believe people are born to be ruled. She said while arguing passionately for the abolition of the monarchy at the party conference in 1994, a testament to just how far she has traveled politically. Truss campaigned for Britain to remain in the European Union, only flip side and later support Brexit once the country has voted to leave in 2016. The commitment to Brexit and unlocking its supposed benefits is now a core pillar of her platform, an attitude that could lead to a heated and expensive legal battle with the European Union and the Republic of Ireland over the complex of Northern Ireland Protocol. While Truss said during the Brexit referendum campaign that Britain shouldn't spend years in massive divorce from Europe, she may be about to preside over exactly this. Born in Oxford in 1975, Mary Elizabeth Truss is the daughter of John Kenneth, a math professor at the University of Leeds, and Priscilla Truss, a nurse. In the biography section of her website, she described her parents as left-wing. When she was 4, the family relocated to Paisley, a town near Glasgow in Scotland. They moved again in 1985 to the northern English city of Leeds in West Yorkshire. Truss frequently refers to herself as a Yorkshire woman. A falsy attempt to contract her upbringing with the largely affluent Southern English background of many Conservative members and activists. Throughout her leadership campaign, Truss said her vision of conservatism was inspired by seeing fellow students at the local public high school struggling in an overly bureaucratic failing system. Many of the children I was at school with were let down by low expectations, poor education standards, and a lack of opportunity, she said at her leadership launch July 14. Former student and staff at Raleigh and also local politicians dispute Truss' portrayal, accusing her of unfairly meddling the school for political gain. It is located in one of the most affluent areas of Leeds, and it certainly could never be described fairly as a sink school, he said via email, referring to British terminology for a failing and underachieving school. Her contentions about her deprived background as the daughter of the university professor are a load of nonsense, Kruthoff said. After graduating from Oxford in 1969, she abandoned the Liberal Democrats and joined the Conservative Party, the dismay of her left-leaning father. He was quite horrified, she told the Times newspaper in 2012. After college, Truss worked as a graduate trainee accountant for the energy giant Shell and later the telecommunications company Cable and Wireless. In 2000, she married fellow accountant Hugh O'Leary, and they have two daughters. After a youth of on the center-left University Prime Trust for conservation to the right. I met Tories and I realized that they didn't have two heads and were actually good people, she told the Daily Mail in 2019. Truss stood as a Tory candidate in the election of 2001 and 2005, losing both times. It would take another 5 years before she was finally elected as the MP for South West Norfolk. Truss has served in various cabinet positions since 2012 under the governments of David Cameron, Theresa May, and Johnson. It was under Johnson that she was promoted to